Welcome to another episode of Inspired Voices. My name is Oliver Riera, and this is Gabbo.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Oliver, for having me here. Your fantastic podcast.
Hey, gotta have a fantastic podcast with a fantastic guy.
And fantastic conversations.
Yeah,
right?
That's right. I like the way you dress, man. I like the hat,
Thank
too.
you.
That's
Thank
nice.
you.
Did you get it in Mexico?
No, I think I got it in Asheville.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
took
good
a
place
quick
to get
trip.
hats.
Yeah, lots of art in Asheville.
Right.
Beautiful place.
Yeah, I can't wait to go back, man, because there's this one place that I want to get like really, really good chocolate. Because I've been no, like hot chocolate.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I mean. Like, for me, I feel like it's hard to find really good hot chocolate.
Yeah.
So if you have any recommendations, let me know.
I'll bring some from Mexico next time I go.
There you go. I like
Original cacao.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom actually came back from Venezuela, and so her family goes into the jungle sometimes, and they bring back a bunch of cacao from the jungle. You know what I mean?
That's the best.
Yeah, it really is. Let's get into it, man. So why don't you tell everybody what you do?
Absolutely. So I have a project called TAOL Project, T-A-O-L. And what we do is find the intersection between your pocket, your mind, and your heart. So basically, given my mathematical background and my experience in banking, I put a lot of information together for people to build wealth, but not only wealth in terms of finances, it also involves growing personally. So it depends on the definition of every individual of what wealth is. But for TAOL Project, there are two main aspects. The first one is building a solid foundation in terms of your money, because without money, sadly, we can't really survive, right? Like money is very important for satisfying our basic needs. So first we need to build a solid foundation for satisfying those basic needs, survival. And then we move on into more personal stuff, more self-development, personal growth. And for that, we need to understand not only the finances, but also the mindset and how the brain works and which barriers we are facing, and that can be very complex. But all this project comes after a long journey of exploring different techniques, different sciences, different meditation practices, different investment strategies. And this is a consolidation of all that journey into one single project.
Yeah, I feel like the way you just described it, I knew this, but I never really clicked the fact that in order to have financial growth, you have to have a mindset growth as well. It kind of goes hand in hand. Right?
Yes. Yeah, the mindset is very important, and that can be enhanced all the time, right? The first step is just to be aware of some of the challenges each person faces, and then once we identify that, we can move on.
Gotcha, yeah. So how'd you get into this, man?
I don't know. Sometimes life just takes you different ways.
Yeah.
There's a combination of things, right? I studied mathematics. Well, I'm an actuary, which is mathematics, but apply in the financial sector in particular.
Right.
And my mind was always wired to determine if something was true or false based on how I could understand it, right? And for me, something that was real was something that I should be able to see or touch or feel.
Yeah.
But then life took me through different paths, and then I realized that that's not always the case. There is a lot of information out there, different, let's call it energies, right? That we are sensitive to. In our conscious mind, sometimes it can't really digest because we are not equipped or we don't train enough the brain.
Yeah.
So given I've been always in banking. And then once I moved here, I got very interested into the challenges that migrants face, particularly immigrants from Latin America, of course. And then I got very deep into why. And there's a strong relationship on how we grow in Latin America and how we change when we get to the US. And that took me to this rabbit hole on understanding the brain and aligning that with how people in general build wealth.
Right. Interesting. Yeah. I guess because you work with people from Latin America, there's a bug. Hold on. Is it a moth? Let me take care of this real quick.
All right.
I gotta kill something real quick. bugging me too. There it is. Okay, we're good.
That was a battle, man.
Yeah, we're good. Okay.
I can see all those boxing, jiu-jitsu skills.
All right. I couldn't concentrate because I saw it. I was like, ah. All right. Do you work with immigrants in the United States as well? Like
Yeah.
when you moved here?
Yes. So that's one of the realms, right? Like that's the inspiration of all this journey. Because, and a very important disclaimer here, right? I'm talking from a privileged position because I was lucky enough to get a company to sponsor a visa for me to move to the US and work.
Yeah.
But that's not the path for everybody.
Right.
Right. So I'm here talking about problems that other people face without me going through that suffering. But once I started digging into why they move when they have so many challenges that they have to face, I started understanding a lot and feeling more for them and getting more concerned and getting more supportive towards these institutions that support immigrants.
Interesting.
It's a tough journey. It could
Yeah.
be very tough.
So you saw more of a struggle in the United States with immigrants than you did in Mexico.
Yes.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yes, and that happens for a lot of immigrants. I feel that I learned more about my own roots after I moved, after I left something.
Why is that? Because I feel like that's the same for a lot of people.
Yes. So we are shaped basically throughout our entire life, right? And you don't really realize of how your routine is until something breaks that. For me, my routine was waking up early, going to work, and over the weekend spend some time with my family. But after I realized that over the weekends I didn't have my family, right? I didn't have that interaction. I didn't have that conversation in Spanish, talking about the local problems that we had, or talking about the food that we have, talking about what happened to my uncle on a different state. Once you realize that you don't have that is when you start really thinking about it.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Yeah, it's for me. It's like my parents are immigrants, right? They came here, so I'm first generation American, and so with me, I've always wanted to. I was trying to be American. I was trying to be American, and my parents were trying to be American as well. So it's like this kind of battle of trying to be American, and for the longest time, I can remember like I wasn't. It's not that I wasn't proud of where I came from, but I just didn't want to learn anything.
Yeah.
I wasn't there. It's not until I moved out and I was away that I was like, I want to know more about my culture and my background and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah. People go through that for sure.
And I feel that a lot of this is related to how rich and how close the culture in Latin America is. Because, and this is one of the big differences between building financial wealth and building personal and growth, right? Your personal development. It's not only becoming rich. It's not about that. Life isn't just about money. But there are specific aspects in the Latin American culture that make it so different and so satisfying. Satisfaction is a very interesting word because what we see in the US is that a lot of people can build financial stability, financial wealth, but they are not satisfied with life.
Yeah.
Satisfaction in life comes from a set of different factors. One is your social circle. One is how you approach religion, how your beliefs work for you, how you build financial wealth. It's a combination of different things. In Latin America, being a very close culture, close in the sense that we are close to each other.
Yeah.
That brings a different type of wealth or a different type of satisfaction. And I think that the older we get, the more we try to find that.
Yeah, that's true. And I think with the Latin communities especially, there's this thing of they come here and they want that American dream, right? But it's not just the American dream. For a lot of, not all, but a lot of Latinos, they have this mindset of trying to be like the white man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's almost like because they have that mindset of trying to be like the white man, their decisions are based off of that instead of basing it on themselves. Does that make sense?
Yes. It's you're trying to become someone else.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting point that you're mentioning because in the U.S. people talk a lot about the fact that people move from Latin America to the U.S. because of the money, and that's true. They want to build a better life. But it's important to understand the context of why people move. It's not an easy decision because there's something in behavioral economics where you are between two decisions, right? You want to avoid losses or you want to chase profit or a benefit, right? And those are related to different parts of the brain. And something like that happens to for someone from Latin America. And what I mean is this. Around 60% of the immigrants, they will move here because of economical reasons, because they want more money, they want more stability, financial stability. But there is another percentage of people who move because of crime, violence, and other factors that are more social.
Right.
So people from Latin America, they don't move here to move from a good life to a better life. They move because the fear they have of losing, and that loss is crime, violence, to the potential, and that's a very important word here, a potential better life. They don't know what is what they're gonna find here.
That's true. It's a risk, right?
It is a risk,
Yeah.
exactly. And the risk comes maybe not from a financial point of view, but more from a satisfaction. They are saying goodbye to their friends, their families, their everything, their life. It's just starting from zero. And that decision is not easy to make.
Yeah, that's got to be hard because I think about it too. Like, sometimes I think about like, I want to move to a different country, but like then I start thinking about like what that means. I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
that's a big risk. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So props up to all the immigrants that like come here and move to come here and stuff like that because that's a big thing to do.
It is a big thing, and that's one of the reasons of why they are prone to take higher risks. But it's a combination of two aspects from my point of view. One is they like risks better because of their background, because of where they are coming from. And as I was mentioning, they come from less stable financial societies.
Yeah.
They come from potentially more violent, where there's more crime. So you are more in a survival type of mode. And when you are in survival mode, you are usually risking more to take a high portion of the benefit right now compared to investing to get higher profits in the long run.
Right.
And those are very well correlated because there are specific parts of the brain that are going to make someone to take more risk today instead of investing for the long term.
Yeah.
So a lot of immigrants from Latin America in particular, because we have immigration from different parts of the world, but for Latin America, they tend to take higher risk to get satisfaction today because they don't really understand sometimes the power of investing in the long run or the power of delaying gratification.
Yeah.
And that's where we start talking about this concept, behavioral economics, neuroscience. That can be changed, yes. There are some practices. Meditation could be one, for example. Sure. But that's one of the reasons. But also, the other aspect of why an immigrant is more prone to take risks is because of social disparity. They don't have a lot of access to financial loans, for example. It's harder for people to get loans. They feel secluded from society. They can't get a job sometimes.
Yeah.
And that is another factor, is more on the social side of why an immigrant is more likely to open a business. It's not only because of the mindset, but also because of the social disparity.
Interesting, yeah. I never thought about that, but that makes some sense.
Yeah.
Now, what about so you see Mexico, right? Mexico is rising, right? The money is being more valued there. It's like they say it might be the next US. Do you feel like that's a trend that you're seeing?
I think it's going to be complex. And I think my approach is always to be aware of the negative side, to overcome that, build a solid foundation, and then start building up from there. What I'm getting is people in Mexico, they need to be aware of where our problems are coming from, right? What are the challenges we face?
Right.
And if Mexico was to become a superpower like the US, first of all, we got to deal with a huge corruption problem that we have. There is money, yes. There's a lot of talent, of course, a lot of talent. A lot of people from Mexico City in particular, they wouldn't be willing to migrate because they love living there. They are so used to living there. But there are some negative aspects that we need to overcome before trying to take the next step. The US society is built really well. It's a very well-structured society. A lot of things work. There is corruption in the US, of course. There is corruption everywhere, but at different levels.
Gotcha.
For example, in Mexico, it's not the same giving a bribe to a cop because they caught you on a stoplight.
Yeah.
And the salaries there are really low. They may be involved with some little gangs too. So you can bribe someone in Mexico, a cop, and you wouldn't have any issues. Try to do that in the US.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Right.
And that's because they are structured in so many different ways. Economically speaking, yeah, there's a lot of money, there's a lot of potential, but there's also a lot of social problems that we need to overcome first, not only to build wealth, but also to sustain that wealth.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, that's interesting. I never thought about that, but that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Interesting. So let's talk about techniques that people can use as far as like maybe changing their lives, let's say, right? So what are some techniques that people can use? I know you mentioned meditation as one of them. Do you feel like, is meditation a good place to start? Or is it improv? What is it?
So if we segregate this in two aspects, the money aspect and the mindset aspect, I would say we can start with the money aspect because I think it's a little bit easier to handle. Automation is one of the things, right? And we can talk about the science behind that. But a lot of people, they feel frustrated because they can't save money.
Yeah.
And that's because they trust the willpower. They have to save money, but it doesn't work like that. Willpower requires a certain part of the brain to be very active, right? Your prefrontal cortex is very active when you're making long-term decisions.
Okay.
But that gets affected if you are not eating properly, if you are not sleeping well, if you are under a lot of stress, if you have anxiety. All those factors are going to affect how you think about your money. One potential solution there is automate your savings. If you get a paycheck, you can set up rules and send money to a saving account. Right? Those kind of little things, they make a huge difference.
But again, going back to thinking long term, you know, it's hard. It was hard for me for a long time to save because, like, you know, I was like, $10 from a paycheck, $20 from a paycheck, or something. It's gonna take so long. Never mind, I'm not gonna do it. You know, stuff like that. So it's that long set mindset.
Yeah, there are a lot of statistics that talk about like if you are 25 years old, 20 years old, and you save $50 per month, how much money you are gonna get when you are 50? And it's crazy because you have monthly savings plus interest rates, and that's the power of compound interest. It's just the basic concept of compound interest. You gain interest over the interest. So it's like an exponential growth, right? Instead of a line, it becomes more like a curve. And then you can make a lot of money. So automation is one of those potential tools that people can get. Investing in, for example, indexes. Right? Indexes historically, like the Standard & Poor's, for example, historically speaking, they tend to grow in the long term. Right? So people who put their money there, they can make a decent amount of money, right? And not only that, people need to understand also like how short-term investments can be a little bit riskier. And that's where we have a lot of the personal biases, right? Because if we see our investments going up and down, which happens all the time,
Yeah.
and if we don't understand how our brain is wired, if we have this tendency to avoid losses, we are going to try to exit the investment when we see it dropping. But we don't really think about the long term,
Yeah.
right? That's one of the tools for money. Now, for the personal growth, maybe meditation is not the best way to start.
Yeah.
I may say improv is a great tool because improv is going to connect your subconscious mind with your conscious mind somehow. When I started practicing improv, and that really opened the door for so many different things.
Yeah.
And for people who may not understand what improv is, and you can correct me if I'm saying something crazy because you're a pro. And improv is a type of art. I would call it an art.
Yeah.
When you act, but you don't have a script, and everything comes from an idea, right? And you make it yours. But the premise of income is agreeing with whoever is on the scene, or if you are alone, you just keep moving, right? But from my understanding, the premise of improv is the yes and, right? You agree with your improv partner all the time, and you keep building on it, right? And because there is a time constraint, there is a little bit of pressure, yes, of course. You gotta come up with answers really quick. And that can really uncover a lot of secret information that you have stored in your brain. I believe that's a very good and very playful way to approach this technique, that is connecting your conscious mind with your subconscious mind.
Interesting. I never thought about it that way, but yeah, that makes sense. So with improv, why did you get into improv? Was it to grow your mind as well, or why did you get into it?
Improv for me was an accident, like a very nice accident that happened. Because I had a friend in Chapel Hill, and then one day she just texted me like, "Hey, there's an improv show. Do you want to come over?" And I said, "Yes, why not?" And then I got there, and I enjoyed the show so much. It was really fun. It was clear that it wasn't planned. It was improvised.
Yeah.
And back then, I was trying to get into Toastmasters.
Okay.
Toastmasters is, they teach you how to present stuff, how to public speak, how to avoid these filling words that we use, like the word like, that I use a lot, and how to become better at presentation.
Yeah.
And I talked to one of the actors, well, the actresses at this improv show. And we started talking about the difference between improv and Toastmasters. And she convinced me to go and check a class. She told me, "Come over, take a class, and then you can decide if this is going to help your presentation skills."
Yeah.
I took the class, and I stayed there for maybe 2 years doing improv.
Nice.
Because it's really fun. It puts you out of your comfort zone. And for me, it was very powerful because I was improvising in English. And English is not, as you can tell, is not my first language.
Right, right.
And it was challenging because how do you process information? Do I process the information in Spanish? Do I process the information in English? How do I think about it? You know, like you gotta consider also like cultural aspects. Is what I'm gonna say funny in the context of the U.S. or
That's
is
true.
this funny in the context of Mexico?
That's very true. I tried to make a joke when I was in Peru or something like that, but nobody got the joke. And I was like, ah, okay. It works in America, but not here. You know what I mean? So that's definitely true. Sure. Did you find that it helped you though, with your mindset, building growth? You felt more confident and stuff like that?
Yes, I felt more confident. I felt that I was able to talk to more people. And at work, I saw the main difference at work, where I had to present in front of senior management and stressful meetings. And it really helps you develop active listening. You gotta pay a lot of attention to what the other person is saying. Most of the times, someone is speaking, and in our minds, we are thinking about something else. And improv, you gotta be committed. And that commitment can take you to a different path on the conversation and make it very successful, very insightful.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the beauties of improv.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I love improv, man. I think everybody should take it.
Yeah.
Every single person. Doesn't matter like what kind of work you're in, where you are in your life. I think it is a very good benefit. And like you said, you have to listen, right? So it teaches you that, and the confidence it builds. And the more confident you are, right, the more decision making is going to be beneficial for you, right?
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to finance.
Exactly. Yeah. And, I think improv is a great tool. It's not the only one. People can explore different things. Meditation is another one.
Yeah.
Meditation is about focusing, right? Stop thinking. But it's an art too. You gotta accept before you start focusing on something. You have to accept that you have invasive thoughts. You have to accept the discomfort sometimes. Because I've been in workshops where you are seated in lotus flower for 5 hours.
Wow.
That kills you.
Yeah.
It's rough. It's really, really rough. There's a point when you are thinking that it's too much, and a lot of people leave the workshop. But there's a little moment. It takes maybe 5 seconds, 10 seconds. If you are able to calm the mind, you just go with the flow after that. It's very tough to get there, but once you get there, everything else is beautiful.
That's true. Yeah.
And that meditation enhances a lot the activation of the prefrontal cortex, which is related to how you make long-term decisions. So you stop making emotional decisions and then you start thinking about them, which is a great difference. A lot of people make decisions because of survival. That's triggered more by the amygdala. It's responsible for emotional decisions and all these kind of things, right? But meditation is like a workout for your prefrontal cortex, where it's like going to the gym, right?
Yeah.
Meditation is like going to the gym. And the more you train, the more capable you become to overcome these biases that we have, identifying them, and making smart decisions, not only in finances, but also in your personal life.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point to make too, the emotional part. So you recommend meditation for people who make decisions very emotionally, I guess you could say, because sometimes that doesn't benefit you, right?
No.
Yeah, and so with meditation, like when I do meditation, a lot of people think they do it one time, it doesn't work, I can't clear my head, that kind of thing, right? But no one can truly clear their head. It's just about where the focus is. So when you're talking about meditation, for me, sometimes the first 20 minutes of meditation is I'm just talking in my head, just talking and talking. And then eventually that goes away and I'm able to just exist and take in everything that's happening, instead of the chatterbox that's right here. So it's not that you have to clear your mind and there's nothing happening in your head. It's just focusing on your breath, on the trees if you're taking a walk. There's different forms of meditation. Yoga, for example, is a form of meditation for some people. Walking on a trail is another one. It's not just sitting down and you're being with yourself. That is a form of meditation, but it's not just one form.
Yeah.
I think that's the mistake people don't get.
I agree. For a lot of people, clearing the mind involves different activities. Some people even enjoy driving.
Yeah.
And that's all they do. But I also believe it's important for people to realize that it's not their mistake, it's not their issue if they can't focus, because there are so many things behind. We start developing our brain since we are in our mother's belly, right?
Yeah.
And there is some research that indicates that if a mother was under financial stress or constant stress during pregnancy, the baby it's not going to develop the desired volume in some areas of the brain that are in charge of logical thinking. It's going to be more emotional. It's going to make different kinds of decisions.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh.
It starts way back.
Yeah.
So understanding this is key. If we are emotional, if we can't make decisions logically, because when we are tired, we stop making decisions logically. We rely more on the emotions. If we are not able to make these logical decisions, we need to be aware of why, right? It's a problem when we know the why, but we don't do anything to change it. That's a problem. But making emotional decisions, I mean, we all do it, right?
Yeah. So when it comes to building financial wealth, though, do you take emotions out of it completely, always, in every situation? Or do you balance it?
Not always. And this is where it's very particular for every single person, right? When you are building wealth, good traits to have is being self-disciplined, being organized, having a long-term goal or mindset, being assertive. But all these traits are not necessarily desire to enjoy life. And we also need to balance out what makes us happy right now. Because if we are only focused in the long term, I don't know if we're going to make it, right? I don't know if I'm going to be alive in the next 20 minutes, right?
Right.
Nobody knows.
Right.
Anything can happen. So we also have to balance it out. What makes us feel satisfied? One of my favorite songs of all time is Satisfaction by the Rolling Stones.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because they say, I can't get no satisfaction, right? And that's a very deep phrase. It's someone who is empty inside. So taking into consideration that, it's also very important. And that's kind of my take on this. Like, yeah, we gotta think about the long term. We gotta build wealth, but we also need to learn how to enjoy what we have right now.
Yeah. There's two things in there, right? There's what's your definition of success, and the importance of the music that you listen to might affect you as well. So let's start with the definition of success. For me, success is happiness, health, and wealth. And I feel like a lot of people, when they hear what does success mean to you, they only think about the money part.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But there needs to be balance of all of the things.
It is traditionally focused on money, for sure.
Yeah.
But for me, success is getting to the well-being that I want to accomplish in life, right? And for me, well-being includes health, includes my social circle, includes my finances, and includes also spirituality. Those, for me, are very important. And for me, success is getting all those together. But at the same time, it's enjoying the journey, right?
Yeah.
If someone thinks that that person is successful only if she or he accomplished the goals, I don't know if that's the right approach, because our goals tend to move forward all the time, right?
Right.
We are always like, well, if I had $10 today, I'm gonna be successful. Then the next day comes, you have $10, and then you move to like $1,000, and then 2 months pass by, you get to $1,000, and now you go for like 100K. Your goals keep moving forward.
Yeah.
It's also enjoying the journey. What is gonna take you there?
Yeah. That's a hard thing for people to grasp, is that journey part. And then finding what's happy to you, because you might make $150,000 a year and be happy, but you're unhappy when you're making $200,000 a year. And so what do? Do you go back and just be happy with 150? You get demoted, depromoted, at work or something like that?
A lot of people quit their jobs to chase something different.
Yeah.
And high-paying jobs sometimes. It really depends on what makes you feel accomplished as a human, I believe. Because at the end of the day, by the end, what we have It's our legacy, what we have to tell the world. And for us to tell a good story by the end of our lives, yes, we need money for sure, because we need to take care of ourselves. And in this world that is ruled by money, yeah, money is important to get health, it's important to get food, but money won't get you that personal satisfaction. That satisfaction comes from a self-discovery journey.
Yeah, that's true. And then speaking of money, there's ways that you can maybe not utilize money so much, right? So you're doing homesteading right now,
Yes.
right? So like, growing plants, growing food and stuff like that.
Yeah, so all this project started because my girlfriend got very into plants.
Yeah.
And watching a ton of videos. We even went to, it was the state, Missouri,
Okay.
to take a workshop with all homesteads. It was really good. It
Yeah.
was really, really nice. And learning that the type of food you put in your mouth is very important. And I was telling you a little bit before we started recording, there is research that proves that there's a connection between your brain and your gut.
Right.
So there are like 3 brains in the body.
Okay.
The traditional brain in your skull, your gut, and the bacteria living in the gut. And it seems that all these 3 communicate very well. Of course, we are not conscious about the gut part, but healing someone's gut, it's critical, it's so important. And it can help overcome different problems, health problems, that I wasn't aware of.
Interesting.
So we started getting a lot into the type of food that we get, the type of poison that we consume when we are drinking water in bottles.
Yeah.
Even, I didn't know, man, that the cup that you get at your favorite coffee shop,
Yeah.
is kind of preventing the heat to go
Right.
out. It has a plastic layer.
It does.
And that plastic layer, can go to your brain.
Yeah.
I was surprised to know that.
I think now, like, everyone has a little bit of plastic in them.
Yeah.
Right? And it's impossible now to avoid almost. Unless you grow your own food, I guess. I don't know.
Exactly.
But even, like, we got to make sure that animal doesn't consume plastic. So,
Yeah. So that's why we started the homestead project. It's called Tortuga Flow Farm.
oh, nice.
It's a really cute name that she came up with. But yeah, we are baking sourdough. I'm the baker. It's a
nice.
family tradition. And she is more in charge of doing the research. We have like energy bowls with some maple syrup and other type of protein there.
Okay.
Very healthy. I cured my acid reflux with a specific root. So I was drinking tea because I didn't want to take this. I forgot the name of the medicine that people take usually for
Yeah, for acid reflux.
for acid reflux. But that isn't the best alternative. So I started drinking this tea. It's been great.
What kind of tea was it?
It's a marshmallow root tea.
Oh,
And we add some other little flavor over
Yeah.
there just to make it more tasty.
Okay.
Because if you drink it just straight, it's going to taste like you're eating dirt.
Yeah. So you maybe put some like honey or something in there?
Sometimes a little honey. Sometimes we put a little bit of lemon to give it a different type of flavor.
Yeah.
And that was a game changer for me.
Okay.
It was fantastic.
So if you have acid reflux, take marshmallow root
Yes.
into the tea.
Yeah.
Put a little honey or sweetener, some type of sweetener in there, right?
If you want, yeah.
Yeah.
For people who have a sweet tooth, yes.
Yeah.
And that was great. That's my favorite thing to drink.
Okay.
And yeah, we started getting more into the benefits of different types of tea, the different types of products that can help you heal your growth. Bacteria, that's why I make the sourdough bread.
Right.
To collaborate, help the bacteria in your gut to be healthier.
What does sourdough bread do for your gut?
Well, it's a fermented food.
Okay.
Because you have to, you let the bacteria grow and create this fermentation, and all type of fermented food is going to be helpful for your gut.
Okay.
Sourdough bread, kombucha, if you are into pickles or this kind of more sour type of vegetables,
Yeah.
they can help a lot. So it's really good for digestion, and everything starts there. Chinese medicine is really focused on healing the gut, and it's
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to grow my own kombucha.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I would give it to some people and stuff like that, and they're like, "Oh my god, this is the best kombucha I've ever had." I'm like, I should sell it.
Yeah. The problem though with kombucha is the alcohol regulation, because if you pass a certain level, they can sue you because yeah, it's crazy. But
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah.
That's a good thing I didn't sell it. But yeah, you're starting. So are you going to be selling? What's the goal for your homestead?
The goal is to start collaborating with other people because we believe that homestead should be more a collaboration than a business model.
Okay.
So I don't see it as a very profitable business or extremely profitable, but I think it's going to bring a lot of benefits for the community.
Interesting. You know, my mom was just telling me the other week. She's like, "Do you know?" She's like, says something like, "Do you know of anybody where I can sell her vegetables or fruits that she grows?" I'm like, "I'm not sure. I'll look around and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like a market or something like that. But maybe there's something there where."
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would love that because we are doing the homestead in the backyard. So the amount of things we can grow is very limited. That's why
same
we
with
want
her.
to bring.
Same with her. So I feel like a farmer's market or something like that is too big.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe that's something better.
Yeah. And that's exactly right. We don't want to increase the production because if we increase the production, we may need to get into chemicals and all that stuff. And that is not what we want to do. We want to do like 100% organic things, growth in healthy soil, because that's the key. I didn't know that the soil is the most important piece for growing vegetables in a healthy way. How you treat this, how you treat the soil before you even plant the seed.
Oh, interesting.
That's so important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, the goal is to bring a lot of people together, create a mini ecosystem, a mini economical type of landscape for people to bring their products, exchange, sell.
Okay.
And yeah, that's
great.
helping the community.
Yeah. Well, let me know when that starts up.
Yeah.
I'll let my mom know, and maybe there's something there for
Absolutely.
you. So, I know you also have a podcast.
I do.
Love your podcast. I was just on it a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
and I got to say, I love the format. I love the topics that we talked about. I feel like they were important. And the fact that you come at it also from a scientific way, which is very interesting. There's not a lot of people that come at it from a scientific background, I guess you could say. So.
Yeah. So the podcast is called TAOL, Global TAOL, and it stands for The Art of Listening. And I talk about the same type of topics that I've been talking about here, which are how the brain works, how we can build wealth. Sometimes
And how that merges together, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
How they intersect, how they help each other. Sometimes I talk about the topic in a very direct and straightforward way, talking about what's overconfidence bias, what is cognitive bias, and which challenges we can face from a neurobiological perspective.
Yeah.
Sometimes I attack that more from a conversation perspective. If I identify that someone has something good that is going to help someone overcome these kind of biases, I invite them as guests, and then we talk about specific topics. That's why you were one of our guests.
Yeah.
Because what you're doing talks a lot about how we can build new neuronal connections. The fact that you're talking to so many people and you are learning constantly, that talks about flexibility and that you have the capacity of learning new stuff and creating new ways to organize the information. Being a host is not easy.
No, it's not. People think it is, but it's not, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to focus, but it's not if you're doing it for by yourself too. Like, I'm not just focusing on you and what you're saying. I'm making sure the camera's still rolling.
Yeah.
Make sure the audio is still good.
Yep.
So my mind has to be split a little bit in that aspect. But yeah, you're right. I mean, you have to be flexible and learn. You want to be able to, you have to be the type of person that wants to learn.
Yeah.
In order to do this kind of thing when you're talking to so many different types of people. And I feel like the reason why I have that is because for the first 24 years of my life, I was stuck in this negative state. And so I wasn't really living life. So when I changed my life, I wanted to do everything, right? And so I felt like I had to catch up as well.
I see.
And so that's why I'm always open to new ideas, new perspectives, which is what this show is all about. And yeah, it just kind of keeps growing from there.
And collaboration too.
Yeah, collaboration.
Because one of the challenges I've faced with the podcast is the lack of collaboration sometimes. That's okay. You're going to have that, right?
Right.
But that's a great opportunity to start building that community here in Raleigh.
Yeah.
I feel is very important.
It is, man.
We can't do everything by ourselves. We need from others,
Yeah.
right?
That's another reason how you build wealth too, right?
Yeah.
Is it's a community based. You know, you can't do everything by yourself, especially if you want to go into a different level of life.
Yeah.
And I agree. I feel like a lot of people in this community don't collaborate as much as they could.
Yeah.
And some people do, some people don't. But I feel like that needs to lean more into people collaborating instead of not. There's always a benefit to it. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. And don't do it again. You know what I mean? With that person.
Yeah.
But if it does, you know, it'll benefit you, and we can all grow together instead of just you wanting to be on top and everyone else down below.
The sun shines for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That point, and you just wanted to touch that on really quick.
Yeah.
Collaboration is, for me, the fine line, because to collaborate, you need to be agreeable. Being agreeable when it comes to investments, it may not be the best strategy. People who are agreeable, they tend to make worse financial decisions, worse investments, but they are able to build a solid group of people who can back them up, right? You have very successful entrepreneurs who build a very strong circle, and that is what is driving their success.
Yeah.
They may not have made maybe they didn't do enough research, or their financial decisions were not the best, but they have a solid group. So collaboration is a fine point to touch, and it really depends on someone's perspective. I personally feel that collaboration is more important because it's not all about the money again. It's about also like who is on your team, who you can collaborate with. And yeah, maybe being agreeable, collaborating with other people may not produce a lot of money, but I think it's gonna be more satisfying at the end.
Right. Yeah, it's more of a balance at the end, I think, right? I think that's the key kind of thing that we're talking about from this whole episode is the balance of life, honestly.
Exactly.
And I really appreciate you coming by as well. That's going to be it for the episode. Just remember, it's the balance of life, you know, between money, wealth, happiness, what success looks for you, looks like for you, and all those things. So we're all just trying to live life and have a better life for ourselves, for our families, and for our children, if you have any, you know, stuff like that. So thanks again for coming on the show.
Thanks so much. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to tell everybody where they can find you?
Yep. So people can find me at TAOLproject.com, TAOL project.com. We are going to have a negotiation workshop coming up in October, November, where we are going to be using improv tools for people to practice the knowledge.
Nice.
So it's going to be very interactive, really fun. For the Homestead Project, you can look for Tortuga Flow Farm. And I'm going to send you the links if you want to put them on the description.
For sure.
But yeah, I appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I'll leave the description and the links in the description below. If you have any comments or want to share your perspective about what we talked about today, feel free to. We're always open to have that different perspective in life. So, or share a story that's related to this content. That's going to be it for the show. So stay tuned for the next one. All right. That's a wrap.